Top 8 or already paired. Oh, crazy Bailoff. I think he made ninth. Heartbreaker. Merpatty squeaked in at 8th. Dang. Oh, we... Okay. First prediction, easy. Who wins here? We're watching this matchup here. Just putting up here before any sort of talking about it. Who wins this match, Merpatty or Kaliok? Kaliok here playing mono red. Merpatty playing Varolz Dreadnought. They played before, I think. Kaliok took the game in the Swiss. But Merpatty back for vengeance here. The rest of the top 8, Mono Black Reanimator, Black White Control, Elves, Mono Black Zombies, Blue Red Dragons, Dragon Control, another Mono Black Aggro, and of course Merpatty here with the Varolz Dreadnought deck. What's that? I mean, 25th! Top 32. Top 32. There's no... Can ignore that. Yeah, I can ignore that. There's no door. Sorry, give me a second. Okay. Here we go. Predictions are closed. You want to eat? Kill them quick. That's the answer. Anyways, let's look over the deck lists here. Monterey get me on the play. Rakdos Cackler. I'll turn my music down a little bit. Rakdos Cackler, the Penny Dreadful staple, back again. The own up people. Kaliok here hasn't actually lost a match this tournament. Merpatty scraping by 4-2. Getting it done. I think this matchup, honestly, in the Varolz Dreadnought deck is the other deck here from Merpatty. I think this matchup really, really depends on resolving a Dreadnought game 1. Oh, missed a land drop here. Burst Lightning punishes the missed land drop here. Red deck is like one of those like it's just a deck that punishes terrible draws, and this is quite the example. Satyr Wayfinder. Gotta look for a land. Fauna Shaman, Forest, Llanowar Waste. Took the Forest. Tempest is also really good. Those are both viable options. Another Burst Lightning on the Satyr Wayfinder. Yeah, Tempest kind of changes the game, though. Usually in these kinds of matchups, I just want to resolve with 12-12, but Tempest is also really good. Uh-oh. Looks like they got it. Dreadnought into Pests. Alright, the Tempest, they're super annoying cards. They're just dumb annoying. When it dies, it gains life, so it buys time and also kills your opponent at the same time. So they probably already had either the Dreadnought and the Pest, and they didn't have lands. But the burn can go to the dome. Why not? You can't really attack with everyone, and you can't let them gain any life. So you gotta go for, like... I don't know, though, but attack for 12 is kind of scary. Yeah, this is a weird attack, because you can't really attack them for, like... I think you might be able to attack for 11. They block 1. You don't mind they block, because you gain a life. Which puts you in, like, 6, which is a really nice life total. They're far away from, like, threshold, so... It's kind of whatever. I'm not really... Like, they have a really lot of bad draws. I think you just attack for, like, 11, honestly. Because the next turn, it's just lethal. Like, if they don't affect your board in any significant way, it's just actually just lethal. Considering the Cackler can't block. I guess the one cards you might be worried about is something like... Attack. Okay, in this instance, if they like attack and then play any 3-drop spell, the game is over. Or 3 damage spell, the game is over. This is very risky. So they could bait Chain Lightning, even Burst Lightning Kicker kills here. Okay. That was a really risky attack. I would have actually left a pass back. Maybe 2. Maybe like 1. I don't know. That's super risky. They drew a land though. So Arc Trail was a card they could have drawn, actually. Fun fact, if they drew Arc Trail, the game would have been over. I don't know. They had 4 cards in the hand, though. I don't know what they could have had. Actually, nothing. You misclicked? Alright. Wonder if there's any, like, answer to Tendapest. Maybe, like, Rampage of Frostodon? That could be okay. Yeah, Arc Trail would have been kind of ridiculous. Alright, game 2. Monterey giving the play right there where they want to be. Yeah, 10 to pass is a big problem for this mono red deck. Even like even a 12-12 was kind of a problem too. They have a couple cards that deal with just a single 12-12. But the 10 to pass is just kind of the worst part of it. There's nothing you can really do about it, which is the worst part. There's no countermeasure. Outside of just like wiping all the 1/1s. Turn 1 figure gets a level up to a 2/2, but it gets vendetted. Tier 2 Shrine. Scary, scary. Scary stuff. But empty board. Where do we want to be for the 10 to pass deck? All right. Varolz, turn 3. Very susceptible to a burn spell. You gotta do what you gotta do. I think you kind of have to kill it. What an Earthshaker? Maybe not, because you don't have any lands. Just kind of going for the dome here. Attack for 4. Takes more patty to 13. Fauna Shaman can go find a Dreadnought, or even discard a Dreadnought for the Varolz. No attack. Interesting. The Shrine's already at 6 counters. It's actually kind of scary. There might be an instance of having to block out here. Only 1 card in hand, though, for mono red. Interesting block. Decided to block the Varolz. They're chaining the Fauna Shaman? No, they're going Dome. This means that the Shrine on the upkeep and next turn will win the game. Unless they... This is the problem. Because now, if they have a card in their hand, they can tutor for something that kills the artifact. So this is a... But it's not that bad. Because you just sack the Shrine. So even if it dies, they go to 1. It's probably game over. I don't know. I guess in this scenario, they have to deal with the Shrine instead of trying to kill the opponent. So it's kind of a scripted play. Alright, discarding another Varolz. Alright, Mono Black Aggro beats a Reanimator to make it to the top 4. So yeah, so like, you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. You kind of have to just kill this Shrine, because if you don't kill it, it's going to kill you. Unless you have some sort of countermeasure to the Shrine activation, which would be kind of crazy in a mostly creature deck. I think it's Goblins. What do you think is Goblins? I know all the deck lists, so you can't. Can't trick me. Diamond's playing Mono Black Aggro. Alright, they found the Dreadnought. They're going for Dreadnought Pest. Which is an interesting call, because Kayla could just simply untap, put a counter on the Shrine, and kill them. There's no sack outlets for this. Oh, they could just sack. Oh, they could actually, never mind. They keep the Dreadnought in play, because it's the Dreadnought trigger. They could just sack and gain 12 life. This is so ridiculous. This is actually silly. I forgot you could do that. Because the trigger stays on the sack, so you can sack the pest. Where's your god now? Okay. But you know what? Shrine is still pretty good at catching up. You still got an active Shrine in play, so... I wonder if he was thinking about that play, because I wonder if Merpati was thinking about, is it actually going to work? Not sure, but anyways. So here's another Earthshaker. They're going to get in for another 4. Yeah, that's why I like chaining the Fauna Shaman. That was a really interesting no-kill the Shaman. Because they went in. They went for it, but the giving your opponent a tutor is just like, they need to sack all 12. I don't know. I would have kept, I don't know, maybe. So now you get like a Dreadnought, maybe, or Masked Vandal. Yeah, you gotta kill the Shrine. I think it would have been better just to not have attacked the Earthshaker, or cast the Earthshaker. Yeah, you have to, oh, that's right. You have to sack 12 power. So you have to do 12 or 0. You can't do more, or 12 or more, or 0, basically. Both working. You're definitely kind of losing now. Not really. I mean, this being on the battlefield has just been like so annoying. If they just chained the Fauna Shaman, but obviously hindsight is 2020. Hindsight definitely 2020 in this instance. Now, if you have a creature in your hand, you could just trade it in for another Varolz, and probably just put it on the Vandal, or even the Fauna Shaman. Or just have a Varolz in your hand. That's pretty good too. So something's getting beefed up here. There's no really responses from the mono red deck. And this could already be game over. I kind of like putting on the Fauna Shaman, but... Or maybe it's probably best on the Varolz. It's the most sturdiest creature. Also gets to block anything on the battlefield right now. You got choices. Definitely huge choices. Alright, the Varolz is the choice. Yeah, this looks to be over. Alright, there's another shrine. Maybe try to rebuild this rebuild the city on rock and roll. Alright, Fauna Shaman goes to tutor again. Discards Fauna Shaman. Could even get another Varol or another Dreadnought. Phyrexian Dread. This is the part where I actually like Brawn. Because you can just swing through with a Brawn. I don't think they're playing Brawn though. I'm not sure if Brawn's even legal. Which is the other instant. There's no Brawn in the deck. I actually have no idea if it's legal. It is legal, but it's not in the deck. Alright, Chupacabra is legal, and it will kill something. Or cast Brawn to sack the Varolz, absolutely. Brawn kills a Jackal. You could suit up the other Masked Vandal here, and now you can just attack for lethal every turn. And this is bad for mono red. Alright, they're gonna block only one. One shrine. A shrine in a dream for mono red. This doesn't look good though. Patty fans are losing it right now. Here's a figure. Can Kaliok stall the game for about 14 more turns? This Fauna Shaman has lived forever, and this is the punishment being dealt. Alright. Varolz scavenged. Honestly, you could just scavenge enough here and maybe just win the game through a go wide scenario. I guess the Burning Rage here can kill the Fauna Shaman here, or the Chupacabra. Alright. They're going on the Chupacabra. Alright, but another scavenge on the other Fauna Shaman. And attack all. Gotta block the big guys. And then you can put... One card left. What could it be? Is it the red Wrath of God? No, it's not. Patty takes this 2-0 after some... Did no one predict? Did no one predict this? Why is my prediction broken? I guess no one predicted. Well, no one wanted to choose between all of them. I don't think anyone predicted. You're busy trying not to die. Well, let's go watch. Let's go watch your struggles. This is the last match anyway, so, oh, I forgot to mention one top 4 deck. Now it's Elves. What combo Elves is called. We'll definitely watch that matchup next. Joins Mono Black Aggro and Varolz Dreadnought. And the winner of this match is going to be, moving on. I don't know what game this is. Let's check a look. Let me get all my ducks in a row. This is game 3. Black-white control against blue-red dragons here. Dragons on dragons, here we go. Well, they've got the bigger dragon here, the Timeless Dragon. I guess Sark and the Masterless has to tick up. A dragon battle here. Black-white control, interesting deck. A couple of Timeless Dragons, piles of like discard, Basilica Bellhaunt, Hymn to Torak. Main deck, Nihil Spellbombs. I love it. You'd love to see it. And yeah, just a concoction of like good cards, I would say. Council's Judgment, Day of Judgment. Couple Heartless Acts, Sorin, Grim Nemesis, Gideon. Just a bunch of stuff. A bunch of stuff. Meanwhile, Blue-Red Dragons, very heavy on the dragon theme. Thunderbreak Regent, Glorybringer, Niv Mizzet Perrin, Varric's Bladewing, and with cards like Dragon's Fire, Dragon Horde, Silumgar Scorn, and Sarkhan the Masterless. Wow, they forced the block here just to kill the Timeless Dragon, which is just going to come back with Eternalize, if it felt like it. And just, like, kind of, again, just re-emphasizes the problem here. I kind of like Eternalizing here. Just kind of gums up the board. But it is a 4/4, so the Dragon Token could just kind of, like, tack through it, I guess. Or you can just activate the Sarkhan and maybe get in. They just trade here. I think you just have to trade with the Sarkhan if they're meaning to attack. Yeah, I really like Timeless Dragon. I might make a deck with it. I've been already thinking about it. I don't know. There's a lot of decks to build. I like blocking here. Just get rid of the Planeswalker. But the Dragon Token is still hanging out. So I think the one sort of like variable here is counter spells. Silumgar Storm's a real spell. It's like you could just counterspell this if you had it. See, there it is, Silumgar Spawn. Amazing card in this matchup. There's no like Vindicates, I think legal, so there is Council's Judgment, but like Vindicates also would be a really sweet card to see at this point. So let's see if Jace can run in a bunch of counterspells. One more attack will do it. Or maybe a top deck Glorybringer would be really nice. Burst Lightning Kicker! Burst Lightning Kicker! Whoa! They had to draw literal counterspell. They drew Burn Spell. They drew Removal Spell into Counterspell into Burst Lightning to win that. That is amazing. And Jace lives on, goes to the top 4. Amazing stuff there. The Dragon Hero. It was way too close. You drew very well. You drew ridiculously well. So, the top 4 is set. It's going to be Blue-Red Dragons. Elf combo, let's just call it that for now. Mono Black Aggro and Varolz Dreadnought is your top 4. We're going to watch the Elf deck, play whoever, because I want to see this Elf deck in action. According to Briar Moss, this is, air quotes, fire. So we're going to see what it's all about. Oh, we'll talk about it in a second, once the matches are set. So again, we're going to watch Merpatty again play against the Elf deck. So, I don't know if it's already started. The other side is the Mono Black Aggro against the Dragon Control deck. Let me try to get their name right. Give me a second. So Nidethis here playing Elf combo. If you want to bet, go ahead. Merpatty, as we saw before, playing Varolz Dreadnought. Yeah, no, I'm trying to do a bunch here all at once. Are they playing already? Okay, they're not playing yet. So Elf combo, what is it about here? It's a pile of elves with a Guiltleaf Archdruid to take all your opponent's lands. It's also Shaman. It's also splashing black for a Shaman in the pack. There's always Azuri Renegade Leader, which I didn't really realize was legal till a couple of minutes ago. A bunch of Throne of the Pharaoh Gods. And Sylvan Anthem, a new card from Modern Horizons 2. Basically the green Arn of the Pure. Pretty fun card. A couple of Genesis Waves too to round out the deck. And just piles of elves. It's just a bunch of elves. So this is one deck that can attack in combat. Or just win the game through that. On the other side, like I said, still watching Merpatty play the Dreadnought deck. I didn't see their pairings, so I'm not sure if they know they're getting paired. On the other side, though, is Diamond Dust versus Jace. Mono black aggro against the dragon deck. Aggro versus control classic combo. Varolz Dreadnought. Didn't really see the Traverse removal package. Only plays a 2-of Traverse, but it's pretty good in certain situations. I think most of the time probably just finds a land. That's actually the mana base is actually really interesting. I guess because you have like when I played these decks, I didn't want to play any tap lands. And I was very heavy on the green. Because green, your best draws basically lead through Birth of Paradise. But I would have built this deck probably with Eldrazi Mimics. Because Mimic is a really good card to discard to Fauna Shaman. But I think they try to fit in him, so that's why I guess the swamps are like more important. If they're playing the match already, I'm not really sure. But I don't know. It's not up, so I guess we'll watch the other match for now. If they're actually playing without us watching, it's terrible. I think the first game's already been over. I think Jace already won. Klapos is a hell of a card. Alright, there you go. Yeah, wreck game 1. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that match. I'll keep an eye on the match on this side for now. Okay, this top 4 set. Yeah, predictions are closed. So we're just waiting on the players to play. Alright. I can do two games at once. Alright. Mono Black Aggro starts with a 2-1. Okay, simply plays 2 lands and passes. Will we see a him here? Alright. Nope, it's a Lacerator. Alright, Burst Lightning on the Lacerator. Probably didn't want to kill the Dread Wanderer as it comes back like an annoying cockroach. Alright, Dragon's Horde is the play to accelerate. Going from 3 to 5. Not bad when a lot of your stuff is like Glorybringer, basically. Might see a him here. Alright, here's the main match that we're watching. Alright, here's a him. Is there a Spell Pierce? No. Stubborn. Oh, they played around Stubborn Denial. And they discard a Familiar as well. Oh, those are really... That's a brutal discard. Alright. Varric's Blade Wing puts a counter on the Dragon's Horde. They have to pass. One more of him will take out the hand. Heartless Act, though, will take out the Varric's. And the Dread Wanderer still continues to attack. Chase at 15. It's so funny, I'm commentating a match you can't even see, but if you just listen to my voice, you'll know everything that's happening. Dragon's Horde countering, gets sacked to draw a card. But no 5th land, or 4th land, rather, for Chase. Dread Wanderer crunches on, Chase at 13. Mono Black Aggro at 5 lands, that's a whole lot. Duress is played. Okay, I'm gonna stop commentating this Chase match. Looks like they're gonna counter the Duress with a Glorybringer in hand. Oh, they have a Glorybringer in their hand. Anyways, here's the Elf deck. Alright. Turn 1, Elves Deep Shadow. Met with a Birds of Paradise. Alright, turn 2, Archdruid. Strong start from the Elf deck. One of the many lords that just does something as well. In this instance, makes a bunch of mana. The elves here also druids, so Guildleaf Archdruid kind of doubles up as a super duper combo. Yeah, outside of like Shaman of the Pack and Azuri Renegade Leader. Every elf is also a druid, which is really funny. Okay. This is a pile of elves. Here's the Llanowar tribe. Yeah, main deck him has been interesting. I'm not sure how much I like it, but him is just a very good card to have. Alright, this might be a Garrick. Okay. Garrick got tap 2's lands. And plays a Satyr Wayfinder, looking for that 4th land. They found it in the swamp. Elf deck, billions of mana, but nothing to do with it, really. Except to attack a bunch. He could probably kill this Garrick if he felt like it. But he might not even care. Alright. So 2 of the elves going at the Garrick, or 3 of the elves, everyone else going to the dome. Garrick goes down. 4/4 gets chumped. I don't mind that because it's not really a lethal attack. Actually, yeah, a lot of people went at the elf at the Garrick though. And wow. The elf takes the first game. This might be yeah, they split it out a bit. They had an active Glorybringer, but the small creatures just were a bit too strong and early on. Literally him from Mono Black Aggro helped out. So Mono Black Aggro in the final is gonna face the winner of this matchup, Elves versus Varolz Dreadnought. Both decks have a it's weird. It's weird to think about it. It's kind of like one deck, the Elf deck, just goes wide a bit harder than the Dreadnought deck goes tall. But the Dreadnought deck also can go wide, but it's not like wide enough for the Elf deck to really care, I would say. And also, they don't really have to even attack through combat. With a bunch of random cards like Throne of the Pharaoh God can kind of just like annoy the opponent too. Three out of the top 4 competitors playing black. Although only 2 decks are playing him, so it's something to think about. But the black starter is actually really strong for the elf deck. Yeah, this is like these are the matchups where I really wish there was mimics in this deck because like a turn 2 mimic Dreadnought is like a lot to deal with really quickly. That's a really easy way of killing elves is to kill them first as soon as humanly possible. So like a really early 12/12 was really good at that. Even like 10 to pass, I guess, is pretty good. Like turn 1 birds and a turn 2 like Varolz pass is pretty good, I would say. Yeah, like 12/12 just win a lot of games. Like, no joke. All right, Woodland Chasm here, turn 1, kind of the worst land in this deck, but so to support him, you have to go through some what do you call it? You have to make some compromises to your mana base. Turn 2 birds, not as cool as the turn 1 birds. Llanowar Tribe on turn 2, just as good as Raphellos. There, I said it. There, I said it. I don't think Raphellos is legal this season, but we have better Raphellos and Llanowar Tribe. The big temple swing if you're able to kill this Llanowar tribe somehow. Alright. They're loading up. Garrick is the play. They're gonna tap 2 lands. And go for a Satyr Wayfinder. Let's see what they dump in the graveyard here. Him, Tend to Pest, Llanowar Waste. Took the swamp into that. Alright, piles of green mana for the elf deck. What are they going to do with it? 7 mana available. Alright, Elvish Archdruid is the draw. This deck also has access to a couple of Genesis Waves, so a big Genesis Wave could be really devastating if you can't clear this board. I like attacking the Garrick. Yeah, I like attacking Garrick here. I think the Satyr Wayfinder just easily gets in the way, though. You don't really care about the wave. It's kind of done its job. I mean, Dragonstorm already won. Dragonstorm already won the tournament. And I'm about to play combo after this, probably. After this tournament. Just kind of tweaking it. That'll probably be the first deck tech. It's my latest combo deck. It's nothing special, but it is fun. The elf combo? I don't know why it's called elf combo. He just named it elf combo, but... Combo in the sense that it plays a lot of elves. Actually, I think Guildleaf Archdruid is really nice with the other elves. You kind of just chain a bunch of elves. It's kind of like a slow rolling ball. Alright, Varolz is the play here. I think the combo is just playing a bunch of elves altogether. So they can like make a decision here whether to pop the spell bomb. It's kind of a low opportunity cost. I don't know if this is even like a great spell bomb pop. But once the Varolz comes into play, they lose all priority anyway. So no matter what, they have no priority over this. So no matter really what they did there, the spell bomb doesn't do anything in this instance. Except, I guess, here. Oh, I guess I could do it here. There is a trigger on the stack. Maybe. I don't know. I guess if the Dreadnought's already in the graveyard, it would have been fine, but now it's just terrible. Yeah, maybe I'm just wrong. The flyer is the best choice. It just can go over the top. Yeah, you just want to be able to get the pest out. Like, but even if they didn't pop the spell bomb, the Varolz or the Dreadnought could simply just die, and then you could just equip a scavenge on the birds, and that's good enough. That's honestly just good enough for most part. Oh yeah, if they have some sort of Forest Walker, this could be fairly terrible. Yeah, that's the problem there. There was low opportunity. There's a low cost. There's no low payoff, is what I mean to say. You're in a forest anyway in the Woodland Chasm, so it didn't really matter, by the way. But anyways, Garrick Overrun with the pests is big game. Alright, gonna get over to game 3. Yeah, Garrick's at 5. The forest didn't... Yeah, you already had a forest play, so... Damn you, Snowlands. There was really no point. I mean, what were we going to get hit there? 1-1? I was kind of questioning why Garrick's in the deck, and now I see why. Apparently trampling with 12 1-1s is really good. Here's game 3. Elves going to be on the play. The winners will play Mono Black Aggro in the finals of our kickoff tournament. It's been a good tournament so far. I mean, not for me, but like in general, the decks I've seen today have been really fun. No wave in the top 8. How about that? Is the wave hype over? Or is just it's just a Ribbons deck as Ribbons is too good. You can probably play with like a bunch of ketchup packages and like some Uno cards and still beat everyone. Alright, they're resolving mulligans here. I mean, it's a really easy deck to exploit, I think. In certain ways. Kind of just like raw aggression is really good. Yeah. If you just like raw, it is like randomly aggressive, you can just kind of beat the deck before they get a wave down. They literally have to like chain a bunch of like Skyclave characters for them to stay in the game. Okay. We're petty mulliganing. They took a mulligan to 6 here. Still thinking about the hand. They're keeping the 6. Here we go. It's game 3. Win or elf, of course. I think it was like 12 one-drop elves are legal. I remember the first time we ever got just a single elf. It was actually amazing. Like, we used to have just elf of Deep Shadow, but we never had, like, just a Llanowar elf for the longest time. It's really funny. Now look where we are. They're always legal. You just take it for granted. Alright. Turn 2, Archdruid. Scary stuff. Do they have the removal spell? Alright. Is this an early Tentapest? Wow. We're Patty on the board first of going wide. So here's 12. Here's 12 1/1s right at you. It's up to Elves here to kind of go wide themselves. This might be it might be too late though. We'll see. There are certain cards that can really mess this up though. In the elf sideboard, and I haven't talked about them yet. Just for the sake of competitiveness, I would say. All right, Guild Leaf Archdruid. Um, they're looking. I think they're looking to chain off here next turn. Tap 7 on tap. Gain on control lands. He doesn't get the creatures though. They're... All right, 4 mana. It's a Chupacabra. Let's see what they kill here. It's gonna be an interesting choice. Are you more worried about like the card draw from Guildleaf Archdruid, or just the massive amount of mana they can make with the Elvish Archdruid? Okay, so mana is the play. I guess with like nerfing, they're sort of like mana. Um, they're just less likely to like chain a bunch of cards. All right, if they have another Llanowar Elf, that's 2 cards to draw. All right, here's a Finhorn Elf. Tap their Black Source. Very interesting tap. I don't know if that's even worth it, given what's in their deck, or what should be in their deck. Ooh, this might be just too late. All right, there's another Archdruid. This is a very, like... Oh, this is very presumptuous that you're going to live through this turn. So, I mean... Yeah, there's just a bunch of guys in play. They even took one to cast one of these things. Alright, Varolz Dreadnought onto the finals. Squeaked in at 8th place. And now they're now they're into the finals. No, it was actually Witch's Vengeance. It's a one of. Like, I wonder if they brought in Witch's Vengeance. That would have been kind of hilarious. Alright, so the last prediction of today. We're gonna go by deck list today. This is your finals. Mono Black Aggro Varolz Dreadnought. Bet quick, because the game is starting immediately. Very similar to the red deck wins matchup, I believe. It's a very, I think, similar matchup. And the fact that, like, resolving a 10 to pest is, like, really, really good. But Mono Black Aggro does punish kind of derpy draws, which this Varolz Dreadnought deck is not, is very privy to, given their mana base, which is interesting. All right. Turn one already started. Turn 1, 2-1. Mid to bet here. Birds of Paradise already in play. All right, and all the 2-1s come flying out. Deck already won a tournament. Already with a tournament win under their belt here. Oh, there it is. And there's a 10 to pest. That's probably just going to be game. This is hard to deal with, honestly. I don't... The only thing you really do is attack through it, maybe, but this is just bad. You could just take this. The problem with the attacking through is that Merpag can just simply take the damage and then crack back for 12. They have, like, no obligation to really block. All right, there's a Nighthawk. Okay, Nighthawk changes some math a little bit. The lifelink is actually pretty decent here. Never mind, there's a Chupacabra. That's a good one. A free kill, and the pests come in. All right. Mono Black Eye, we're going to 6 thanks to the Lacerator. It's not really helpful here, the situation. They're going to sign a blood themselves, go to 4. I don't know what they're trying to draw into. All right. Quick game 1 already for the Varolz Dreadnought deck. Yeah, I mean, Dreadnoughts are pretty nutty. You gotta kill the birds. The early bird kill is really important. Game 2, let's see where they go. There is some countermeasures, I would say, for the Mono Black Aggro deck. It's not all too bad. They could bring in a couple more removal spells. I wonder if they're going to break the ice against... there's no way they're going to break the ice against Lateral Waste. Break the ice is kind of an annoying card if you're trying to Cloud Post it up. There's a couple of Duresses. Bile Blight, Nile Spellbomb, Underworld Dreams, and Weathered Runestones. Kind of round up. They were not worried about a Reanimator. Wow. Well, I mean, between Nile Spellbomb and Weathered Runestone's pretty good. Dreadnought... Their cyber's not super awesome against Mono Black, I would say. They kind of keep doing their own thing. They might bring in, like, Library, maybe Duress. I don't know. Probably not. There's not, like... None of their removal really hits Mono Black. So, this might be just one of those, like, get a Dreadnought and play it, hope it lives. Yeah, it's a one-of in their deck. It's pretty good. It's just a clean answer to a lot of things that you need. Alright, Mono Black kept 7. Hits him with a Duress. I actually like bringing Duress in this matchup. They kept it. Oh. Wow, they kept in Vendetta, which only hits like one creature in this deck. Maybe they just have anything to board out, but. Alright, turn 2 him. Hits Spore Weaver, and the land. They drew a land, though. And gets a Fauna Shaman in play. Bile Blight on the Fauna Shaman. This is a very controlling start. Okay, Birds finally gets in play. I think that Chasm's not even here anymore. So the last card is the Chupacabra, which will trade with anything that happens here. Another him, taking up the last Chupacabra. And here's a Gutter Bones. Double him, Duress. Maybe that's the way to beat this deck. But the top decks are real here. Varolz already in play. Nihil Spellbomb. Actually good here. I think you just have to pop it now. Get a card out of it as well. And another Dread Wanderer. They're gonna offer the trade. It's not really much of a trade since like Gutter Bones is just super awesome. Alright, top deck central here for Varolz Dreadnought. They're gonna attack. Their best bet is to keep the Varolz in play as long as possible to maybe scavenge onto the birds. Any Dreadnought draw is just super bad. There's no way to really react to it if you're the mono black deck. But Nighthawk is a great answer to the birds, even if it gets scavenged up. Nighthawk's been kind of an all-star, it looks like, in this. Now the Varolz can't even attack. I like sending it here. I think you just have to send it, yeah. You really want to end the game as quickly as you can. We're penny at 6. 10 to pass Dreadnought would be kind of nice, but I don't. It'd be nice to like gum up the ground force here. But another birds, probably on chump duty. Next attack would be lethal. Bile Blight and the birds would be kind of insane. But it wouldn't be that bad because of the Varolz. They could just sack one of the birds that's targeted. But this is a must-block situation. Something's got to block. Yeah, you might as well block 2 things. This way you can negate the life gain if you just sack the birds that's blocking the Nighthawk. Yeah, Tentacles would like delay the game quite a bit. If they have a Dreadnought. If they find a Dreadnought. A lot of cards kill when you're at 2 life here. If they still have Sign and Blood in their deck, they could actually just get Sign and Blooded here. It just deals 2 damage. They did it! Yes! I was like, do they have it? And yes, Sign and Blood for the kill. I love Sign and Blood for the kill. I love it. I don't know. I have no horse in this, so I love it when like goofy cards like Sign and Blood kill you. And we're going to a game 3. It's just funny to use it in the not intended way. As its target player. It's so funny. Alright. Both players looking to keep 7. We're probably gonna be in the play. The Woodland Cemetery tapped. You hate to see it. So no early birds draw. Mono Black can probably hit him with the Duress. Kind of worked out last time. So now you can take a 10 to pest if you see it. They did. Oh, they had it. They have double Dreadnought, Garrick Wildspeaker, but they had the 10 to pest. Wow. Let's see if they have the him. All right, Dread Wanderer though is the draw. Double Dread Wanderer. So let's see if they drove another Tentapest in the meantime. Alright, Devoted Druid is the play. Nice little ramp card. They can ramp into this Garruk. Alright. Him takes out a Swamp and a Dreadnought. So the last two cards here, Garruk, Wildspeaker, and the other Dreadnought. But the Dreadnought's right where it wants to be, which is in the graveyard. Gutter Bones. Another start. They drew a Forest. So I'm imagining this Garruk's untapped or makes a beast. Just try to like soften the blow here. This Garruk is probably just gonna make a beast every turn, unless it dies here. You could definitely just attack everyone into the Garruk. It's not a bad play. I think it's just gonna be really annoying if you don't attack it. Yep. So everyone comes in. You could definitely like take out one of the 2/1s. Never mind. Here's a Heartless Act. Alright, but still, Dreadnought's still in the hand. If they draw to Tentapest, though, they can make a lot. Birds was the top deck. So just a bunch of mana dudes and a single Dreadnought in your hand. Looking for the Tentapest. Mono Black, though, not relenting. Attacks again for 6. I would say a Varolz is also very good in this spot. Ooh, Mono Black has 5 lands in play. What is it? It's the Varolz! Okay, this is... Okay, if they have a removal spell for one of the creatures, so they're going to scavenge on the Devoted Druid. That makes a lot of mana. Is there a response? Do they have a kill spell for the Druid? So this is like kind of interesting because... Okay, they're going to Heartless Act. That doesn't work! Oh my god, what a perfect play! So then you could just like put a counter on the Druid. Whoa! Heads up play there. And now the Dreadnought can get into the graveyard again and put it onto the birds. And they're gonna go all in onto Devoted Druid. And now they have 22 mana in play. That's it! That's the game! Whoa! What a play. Claps. Claps. Clap. Clap the Merpatty. That was actually a really nice play. Congrats to Merpatty for winning the kickoff. All right. Nice. Nice fun tournament. Pan Cloud Bus. Fun tournament. That was fun tournament overall. Him is not great, I would say. Ban Cloud Post, yes. I'll just push the result, because why not? Everyone wants to see the lists. So we talk about the top 8 lists real quick. I guess I could. To round out that stream. I already reported for you, don't worry about it. I'd be lagging because I reported for you. Okay. Let me get all my ducks in a row. Alright, so I guess let's take a peek at our top 8. Thanks guys for watching. We're just gonna wrap up the stream with a look at the top 8. So first place, Varolz Dreadnought. Always been a good deck. Various like, 12 decks are fine. I played this deck in the past several times too. Went on a run, squeaked into the top 8. They were literally the 8th seed by just like 0.03. and then they don't win the tournament. That's how you do it. A lot of interesting choices. I think stretching the mana base for him is a bit aggressive, I would say. But really, like, I think this deck really just maximizes like a bird's draw. So if you have turn one birds, you have like Dreadnought Pest, or even like turn two Varolz is very strong because if you get to untap with it, then you get a Dreadnought in the graveyard somehow. Things like Satyr Wayfinders, like that. Um, we saw a Devote. I was wondering about Devoto Druid, how good it could be, but I guess like adding mana and then untapping with it is like super strong because just putting like 20, 12 or 22, 12 or 24 counters on a creature is really good. That it gets to untap itself by putting a counter on it. So that was really cool to see. Obviously, you have some Fauna Shaman targets, Chupacabra, Freebooter, and Foundation Breaker. Yeah, it's also to like beat up black. And also some like standalone good cards here. Deep Forest Hermit's one of them. Garrick is, pretty good when you have 12 1/1s in play. Library is just kind of another catch-all. But yeah, I think just like having but Tumor Patty's words, it's a bit of a stretch to play him, and it is because I think your best draws, and we've all witnessed this today, was when you would turn one birds, or just Mana Dork in general. That's why I played the 8 Mana Dork version, because like if you would turn one Dork and then like turn two you can play a Pest, or in my case I'd play a Mimic, Dreadnought. Those are all like really strong plays. Your best play was basically making a 12/12 into something. The sideboard had nothing to do with mono black, which is super funny. I think they're just like going on the strength of 12/12s, but Almost a fun card. The tutor up with Shaman, so you can just put it in your hand and then just have as evoke target. Several just sort of like random artifact enchantment hate cards. Spore Web Weaver is pretty interesting. Against like it has hexproof from blue, but it's probably better against like red decks, which is really funny. But overall, a tried and true archetype. It's really interesting to see this list, especially with like 10 to pass. 10 to pass is just like honestly like it is really good. It's good with Dreadnought, obviously. I think the hard part about like 10 to pass is that it's hard to find when you need it. But when you do find it, like then you need the Dreadnought, which is easier to find. So it's always like good. I would say it's always good at some point. It's hard to respond to as well. Like we saw the one play with like they sacked the 12/12 to make the 12 tokens, and then they sacked the 12 token, they gained 12 life. So it's got a lot of application. That's the really fun part about it. They showed that today. Runner up here, Diamond Dust with Mono Black Aggro. Already won a tournament, so we already knew the deck was like kind of real. I would say this is probably the best him deck so far. You can just go like aggro drop into him, and that just kills a lot of people. Like, and I think the great part about this deck is that the 2/1s are really good. Like Dread Wanderer, Gutterbones are super strong. They have a lot of staying power. They don't care if you like run out of cards. They're always coming back. And even like the Scribing Scroungers as well are also really good at eating up through other random creatures. I'm not sure about Brutal Horde Chief and Desecration Demon. They're both pretty decent, but they're just kind of like late game cards. There's only 2 of each. Desecration Demon actually not that bad. I think a lot of people have asked about why there's no Dark Ritual, and I don't hate not having Dark Ritual at all. Yeah, Spitzy Hell, right? That's a good idea. Dark Ritual is like will make more explosive draws, but is a worse top deck, I would say. Especially when you're playing with hymns and duresses, which all can be really bad top decks. That's something. Heartless Act, while being a decent counter spell, or I'm sorry, removal spell, didn't really kind of was a detriment to them. If they played something like you could mix this card up with like Go for the Throat, Power Word Kill, even like they played Ulcerate, which I actually like Ulcerate a lot. Because if they had Ulcerate over Heartless Act there, that game would have been a lot different. And a couple of Sign of Bloods. We saw the Sign of Blood kill. That was really fun too. Yeah, I think you gotta mix up the removal though. Power Word Kill is literally legal. Power Word Kill is, I think, actually really, really good. I mean, like, it's like non-angel, non-demon, non-devil, non-dragon. So don't play Jace. Basically, don't play Jace, and you're good. The Dragon Master Jace, of course. Sideboard here, they really don't like Cloud Coast decks. Which is why Break the Ice is here, which is not a bad card. It does punish snow lands too, so if you're playing Astrolabe decks or like Cloud Coast decks, it's kind of a ridiculous card. Bioblade actually would have been decent against the Pest deck if they don't have like a Varolz to sack a Pest. Extra Duresses, Feeds a Swarm. Feeds a Swarm also a really good card you could probably main deck in certain situations. Spellbomb and Red the Rootstone are sort of the anti-graveyard choices. Wonderworld Dreams, not bad. This is not a bad like anti-control card. It's not bad. It's not amazing, but it's kind of whatever. Top 4 list. Jace doing it again with the Dragon Control deck. Blue-Red Dragons. Funnily enough, we got more dragons, but Thunderic Region kind of like rounds out the 4 ofs here. Glorybringer, Niv Mizzet, and Varix. I'm not sure if Varix is here, but I mean, as a 4/4 flyer for 4, it's not terrible. I wonder if like Thunderbite Hellkite's good enough too. I'm not really sure. I kind of just want to max out Glorybringers. Maybe that's just me. But the reason why you want to play this deck is honestly like Silumgar Scorn and like Dragon's Fire. Both actually really good cards that really want you to have a lot of dragons in play or in your hand. Dragon's Sword is also a really fun card. It's kind of a late game card. But yeah, I think Scorn's just super strong. Single Sarkin here also just pumps out a bit of dragons. And there's a bunch of like random control cards. Stubborn Denial, pretty great once you have like every creature, I think it's 4 power or greater. So Stub just becomes like 1 mana negate. Temple of the Dragon King also a great land, so I think that's what the deck really needed, was like another dual land. So, or not even, it's not really a dual land, it's kind of like a pseudo dual land, but still fine, I guess. It makes the land that you want at that time. Haven of Spear Dragon is actually the real dual land. Sideboard, bunch of counterfluxes for anti-control packages. Fully Familiar, anti-aggro. I'm actually surprised they're not playing more like Sweltering Sun effects, but Dragon's Claw is a big like call out to like mono red. I didn't really have mono red on my radar, but apparently they did. But they had a single one. And of course, Graveyard Hate, some random bounce. Another top 4 Elf air quotes combo. What doing very well. They started 5-0, lost to Mono Red, won their top 8, and then lost to Merpatty, the eventual winner. Piles of elves, 34 of them. Most of them are both elves and druids. So they're splashing black for a couple of shaman in the packs. I think the air quotes combo, which is here, is basically like Guiltleaf Archdruid. Since most of the elves are also druids, you can just start a chain through your deck. But it really helps that you have an Archdruid in play to kind of get a lot of mana. Azuri, kind of a great elf slash overrun. I think it's maybe the first or second time it's been legal. I would love to see like more Genesis Wave though, but Sylvan Anthem's also pretty great. I guess if you have Anthem plus Archdruid, it's actually pretty insane. Because you get to like look at... Can you stack these? No. So you can't actually stack these. So you scry second. But this is on cast trigger, so... Throne's also a really funny card to not even like go into the attack phase. You just tap all your creatures and kill them with Throne. I think having black in your sideboard was a black access to black is really great. Because you get really good sideboard cards that mono green would normally have, like Duress, Liliana's Caress. Actually, this is an anti-madness, which is a really funny card. And you get to pay for Spellbomb, which is pretty funny too. And a single like Witch's Vengeance for other random like... This is actually really funny against the Pest deck. A single Elves Champion too, probably for mirror matches. Rapid Vigor is also really cool too for like anti... It's good anti Day of Judgment, so that's kind of nice. Alright, top 8 time. Mono Black Reanimator here in the top 8. This is more of the all-in Reanimator list. Basically, the Dark Ritual deck of the format, I would say. And that's not Storm. Villas is like the new Penny Dreadful Gristlebrand. So if you combine this with Life, Death, and Reanimate, Life, Death is basically another Reanimate. You can draw a bunch of cards. It's actually pretty sick. That's really the card. But I mean, honestly, cards like Siren Standing is still pretty good on turn 1 Reanimate, or even turn 2. Dream Trawler is another sort of discard outlet slash good thing to reanimate. It's hard to kill. And yeah, it's the deck. It's like 1 part discard, 1 part reanimate, and 1 part reanimated shouldn't target. That's the deck. Couple Ratchet Bombs, Never Owl's Disc too. Just kind of like things to kill pesky permanents. Disc is actually a big player. Crazy to be able to play this as a 4 of, and I like their deck a lot. I might build a deck similar to that. A couple of random other discards, well, Spectre Shriek, Coffin Purge, another sort of anti-reanimator. I guess your war. So another random discard spell. Pretty decent. Black-White Control on no one's radar here in the top 8. Lost to the Dragonfire deck. What to say? Another him deck, so backed on the power of him. It's pretty decent. Yeah, this deck is a bunch of 2-for-1s. Main deck Spellbomb is really nice. I think if you're wanting to like kind of bridge the early game into the mid game, having main access to main deck Spellbombs is actually pretty sweet. Especially if you're black, so you get to draw the card off of it. It's kind of like piles of like efficient removal, Heartless Act, Bloodchief's Thirst, and a lot of 2-for-1 spells. Hymn to Torak, Basilica Bellhaunt, Inscription of the Runes, Ruin. Actually, only really does like 2 things. Sword Grip Nemesis is kind of a fun planeswalker, just kind of a top end thing to do. So it looks like they're trying to kill with a bunch of planeswalkers, Kitty and Jura, Timeless Vest, But the card I like the most was Timeless Dragon. This card's actually sweet. And I'm actually excited to play this card, because this card is super sweet. Pain Cycling 2, so it just dumps in your graveyard, and then you can eternalize it for a 4/4 black zombie dragon. Or you just play it. It's a very efficient spell. It's a really sick card. Sideboard, just kind of a mishmash of stuff. Having main deck Spellbombs is really nice because you get to free up your sideboard for some other things. This is like anti-aggro. This is like anti-combo. Rule Law against like Storm decks too. Social Purge, pretty decent against the Rakdos deck that's flying around. Extra Disenchants. Sorcerer's Spyglass, not bad against like wave decks. Or like maybe they're playing like goofy planeswalkers that you want to like kind of negate. Extra Day Judgment for more anti-aggro. Yeah, overall, lost round 1 and ran the table, so that's kind of fun. Yeah, this is kind of like it feels like a mid-range deck that's acting as control, but it plays just good cards. This is like one of those, and Basilica Bellhaunt. No, but seriously though, this is kind of just one of those like, I play good spells decks, and this is what I'm doing, so come at me, But yeah, that's cool. I like the deck. I mean, I thought it was pretty good. Red deck wins from Kaliok. Undefeated in the Swiss, lost to the eventual winner of the tournament. Shrine of Burning Rage kind of just like re-elevates this deck into like, I would say like a high tier status. Shrine is amazing, and we haven't seen Shrine since season 3. But yeah, Shrine's pretty sick. Just efficient burn spells and efficient creatures, and that's all you really need. The usual suspects here: Cackler, Noble, Figure of Destiny, Earthshaker, Ash Zealot. All the usual suspects. Chain Lightning, Burst Lightning, Incinerate. If there's ever like efficient burn spells, you're gonna see a red deck. But yeah, Shrine I think takes the deck a little bit over the top. It would be funny to see Lava Dart. I wonder if Lava Dart has a place with Shrine. I don't know. Sideboard, I like Dead Gone a lot. Dead Gone is part shock, or yeah, part shock, part bound unsummon. It's really nice against the big creature decks. Price of Progress. No one is playing Price of Progress, and no one, and all these like greedy mana bases are not getting punished. So here comes Price of Progress to kind of ruin the day. It's really funny, you know. Scab Berserker are also kind of great. Anti non-creature deck. Right. Yeah, Shrine's insane. Don't you forget it. Last but not least, Mono Black Zombies, the last top 8 player. Different look at Mono Black aggro. More zombie based, clearly. Your one drops here. Dreadwander, probably the best one drop. Diagraph Ghoul, also pretty great. Undead Augur and Graveyard Marshal and new card White. I'm not sure how amazing White is, but it's just another like 2-drop that's good. I would say. I think Graveyard Marshal and Undead Augur are clearly better. But I think the strength of this is having just a bunch of lords. So Lord of the Undead, and Death Baron are pretty sweet. No Cemetery Reaper. Instead they're going with Diagraph Colossus. Which also not bad. This is more of a Dark Ritual deck, I would say. Going wide is pretty much where you want to be because it makes cards like Dark Switch really good. The File is a great card that should probably see play in the other Mono Black aggro deck that made the finals. This is also a very, like, you know, great card to see. Interestingly, they're not playing any hymns. It's probably just a personal choice. I don't know if him is super great in this deck because you just want to play creatures on curve all the time. Sideboard's most of the same cards we've seen before. Lost Legacy, Bioblight, some Graveyard Hate, some just random removal. Only lost to a token deck, and then the elf deck. Interesting. But yeah, this is actually really interesting that they're not saying playing him. I guess there's just not enough room. Maybe cut the whites. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, fun tournament overall. Oops, I don't know what that is. Went 3-3 on my own, but I don't know. Some things didn't go my way, and other things we had a good time. So we had good times. So that's the good thing about the kickoff tournament. You can just kind of like play mediocrely and still kind of crack top 32. Especially only like we only had like 45 players, so like that's like over two-thirds of the field made some credit. What was I, 25th? What does 25th make? Oh, I was one away from 2. Wait, what was I? Was I 25th or 24th? Oh, I was one away. Look, I was one away from the 2 cut. No, that was 25th. But yeah, this deck was fun. I don't know how much else I would change. I'd probably play a second God Pharaoh statue. A lot of the times I would just like upheaval with God Pharaoh statue, and then that's the game. So maybe that's like the plan going forward. And maybe I just like cut all the chaff. Like Engine was okay, it's not amazing. Engine maybe won me one game, but not really. Spine's kind of whatever. I don't know. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. Appreciate the support today. Thanks for the resubs, subs, follows. Everything. But yeah, we're gonna end the stream here.